Hi everyone. Um, I sent a voice note to a friend of mine, and I consider that we're in a budding friendship connection. I sent them a voicemail about a post that I saw that they put out about the energies that we are sensing and feeling right now. Hello. Thank you for coming to the house. 1 second. Yes. Um, so in sending a voicemail to them, what came became clear to me was I felt like spirit, my ancestor, myself was like, go speak it to the people that know you and follow you and support your work, right? So here's a message that is being downloaded into me and that I am being called to embody at a higher in a more conscious way, and to embody it. It's the idea and the concept and the spirit of beauty. The spirit of beauty. Beauty can be spiritual, beauty can be physical in the body, beauty can be material, beauty can also be awe, how we look at life in an awestruck way. Beauty can be in our friendships, our finances. Beauty can be in every area of our lives. So it's that spirit. I'm going to call it the spirit of beauty. That spirit of beauty, that mentality of beauty as well. The mentality of beauty is basically abundance, having an abundance mindset, right? That is beauty. So the idea of beauty, the spirit of beauty, the essence of beauty, I feel like I'm meeting it in a more conscious way. Whereas I've been practicing things like having shifting from a lack mindset to an abundant mindset, shifting from shifting from a root of anxiety because of trauma to embodying more emotional safety, right? And allowing that emotional safety to for my body, for myself to feel safe in my body as well, healing the inner child also. So the message here is that, and this is a growth point for me, and it's been happening for almost 2 years. I am no longer available to hold space just for people's pain. I'm no longer available for that. I'm no longer available to trading pain with other people, trading suffering, trading lack, trading loss, trading tragedy, trading grief. That's not the transaction that makes up who I am, right? In the past, what I've done with my medicine, I have beautifully held space for Black women for their grief, and I've held space for Black women to discover or consciously come into awareness of some of what their soul purpose is. But in holding that space for them, what I really was holding for them was a lot of their lack, a lot of their unprocessed grief, right? And I really thought that was my calling. However, what is becoming clear to me is that's not my sole purpose, to be just a container that holds other people's pain and trading in pain, trading in lack, trading in grief and in sorrow. People are very good at seeking me out when things are hurting in life for them, right? I feel like I've probably become synonymous with pain. That's how I feel. You might be like, no, Serena, I don't see it that way. I see you like this, like this, like this. But I feel like somewhere along the way, I've allowed that to be how people engage with me, engaging me from a place of pain, engaging with me from a place of lack, engaging with me from a place of sorrow, right? And all of that stuff. But that's what I thought. That was the mindset I also brought to relationships, tapping into what was painful and looking for solutions. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's where you are in life. It's just not where I need to be anymore, right? What I am looking to trade now, energy exchange now, reciprocity now, is beauty. I want to trade beauty. I want to reciprocate beauty. I want to reciprocate abundance. I want to reciprocate and exchange, trade in joy, trade in good health, trade in peace, in stillness, in emotional safety, emotional wellness, mental clarity, mental safety, right? I want to engage and trade in the exciting things that are happening in people's lives. Not the moment we meet, we're rehearsing, we're going over the wounds, what hurts. And it's very easy for people to do that with me. And I think it's also a lack of a boundary that I've had with folks. But also it's the sense of safety that people feel when they're around me, like they can just unload and release what they've been holding on to because the energy just feels so safe for them. Right? So what I am challenging myself now, also because of, I feel like just the energies that are in the atmosphere right now, and just looking at what my friend wrote on her Instagram today, Shashu Universe, go look her up. And listening to another lady named Melanie Fiona, who's like, women shouldn't be playing small anymore. I feel like just being a burden carrier is playing small in people's lives. Like, I can expand my role in people's lives, and people can expand their role in my life as well, meeting me in my most fullest capacity, being able to contain my joy while I am also able to contain their joy as well. I want to be there for the beautiful moments, not just the tragedies. I just don't want to be there for the pain. I want to be there for the joy. I'm not wanting to trade pain anymore. I want to trade beauty, right? I want to trade, and yes, like I said, beauty and laughter and weddings and birthdays and quinceañeras, all of that, right? Not just the moments that hurt, and then that's when you think about calling Serena, because the moment hurts, right? Because you're at a crossroads and you don't know what to do, and then I'm gonna call up Serena. No, when you're having that quinceañera, when you're having that birthday party, when you're getting married, where am I in those moments with you? Does it make sense? So that also means I need to shift the way that I show up in life. It means I need to shift my boundaries. And also, yes, I need to shift my boundaries. And kudos to those who have obviously always thought about me in their most priceless moments, their most joyful moments. Kudos to those who have done that. And I appreciate that so much, right? But it's also, what I'm trying to say here is, it's also outgrowing that phase of my life, right? Outgrowing that space of where I'm only trading in pain with others. I'm drinking nettle tea with rose and moringa. Yeah, I gotta go soon. I have a meeting at 11. I'm also eating cake. The taste reminds me of cake my mother used to make when we were young. So, there's no need to add sugar to my tea because the cake is already sweet enough. So it's readjusting my boundaries as well, readjusting my energy, and being open to the lighter things of life, being open to the more peaceful things in life, right? And also adjusting my lens and my perception about myself and what I'm here to do. I'm not here to just be an emotional dustbin for others. I'm not here to be an emotional trash can for others. I'm not here to just bear the weight of other people's pain. No. In fact, bearing other people's pain is nobody's business except for you, the person that's hurting. That's your job, to dispose of that pain yourself somehow, whatever, right? So creating the boundaries that uphold this new energetic space that I'm in, and this energetic space or responsibility, the medicinal responsibility I'm carrying now is that of beauty, embodying beauty, beautifying the mind, and beautifying the body, consciously creating beauty as a practice. I've already been doing it in unconscious ways. And so bringing the unconscious into the consciousness and doing it, knowing what I'm doing now is the practice. These are rituals for beauty that I'm doing right now. One ritual for beauty I'll share in case you're wondering, like, what do you mean by that? One ritual of beauty that I've always done, two I'll share. One is water. I love going to the water. I didn't realize that when I go to the water, I feel calm. I feel like I'm home, right? Water is a physical representation of home for me. So that in itself is beauty, because I'm rejuvenated, I'm calmer, I'm clearer minded. That is a ritual of beauty for me. The other ritual of beauty that I do is flowers. I love flowers. I love herbs. Let me show you this right now. I'm just going to turn my camera so you can see. So look at my plants, right? I have all these plants right here at my table. My son is always like, can we move these plants so we can actually have space to sit and eat? One day we will. And if you notice, a lot of those plants are looking yellowy. One of the things is because they've outgrown their pots, which also tells me spiritually, I've outgrown the space of being an emotional dustbin. I've outgrown it. I need bigger space. My energy of beauty requires a bigger, more expansive space to grow. Just like all of my plants here, they've outgrown their spaces. These guys are crying for bigger pots so they can actually expand even more. Their leaves will get greener, all of that, then adding all the nutrients they need, other than just the water that I give them every day. Right? So look for the ways that your life is also trying to expand. How is your life trying to communicate to you that expansion has come? You got to take off the old mission, or what you thought was the mission, interpretation of your mission based on your trauma, based on what others were looking to you for, based on your lack of good boundaries or good spiritual hygiene, right? So then how are you expanding into what is coming through to be embodied? For me, it's the spirit of beauty. It's physical beauty in my space, in my body, in my finances, in my relationships. That's why I'm saying in my relationships and even in my business, we are now going to hold space for beauty, right? We're not going to hold space for pain anymore. That was this arena before. We're now restructuring where we're holding beauty. What is that going to look like? I have some ideas. We've already done it before, unconsciously, like I said. So it's just going to be a conscious practice now, right? And also creating boundaries around listening. I'm a good listener. My energy draws people in who want to talk about what the tough things that are going on in their lives. So the emotional boundaries as well, right? Reinforcing those emotional boundaries. One thing I've learned from Empress Karen Rose, one way to reinforce emotional boundaries is putting yourself on a regimen, like nettle, sipping nettle tea, sipping rose tea. There are many herbs that she talks about if you go to her channel, Empress Karen Rose. But some of those help us with those energetic boundaries that we need. A nettle has stingers, and that's part of why you have to come and approach nettle in such a mindful way, because it'll sting you if you're mindlessly trying to pick it. It's the same way with me. When I'm approached, I need people to be mindful of how they approach me, right? Not just to come and, oh my God, this is what's happening to me. You're not approaching me well. You're going to get stung now because my stingers are growing, right? My stingers are growing. You need to be mindful in how you approach me. I'm not a dustbin anymore. I used to be, but I'm not. I'm not the carrier of your burdens anymore. I used to be, but I'm not, right? Because it's becoming clear to me, even in my body, that's not what I'm here to do. That's not my soul mission. My soul mission is not to carry other people's burdens. That's not my mission. And in case you thought it was yours, it's not. It's not your mission to carry other people's burdens. Say it with me. It is not my mission to carry other people's burdens. Other people's burdens belong to them, and they get to choose how they dispose and release of their burdens in their own time, with using their own skills and strengths and leaning on their own spiritual teams when they are ready, right? That is their work, right? So Yes, that is one energetic boundary that I'm working on right now. I don't like to talk about things in their finality, like, oh, I've worked on this already, because I feel like I'm always growing. There's always something to grow into, right? So as I grow into this, I hope that you're also growing into what is calling you, to be more aware, to be more solid, to be more present with yourself. Okay, I gotta go. If I'm gonna catch my bus to go downtown, I gotta go now. You have a wonderful day, and if you have questions or comments, put them in the comment section. If you want to DM me and talk about your strengths, your beauty, please do. All right, bye. How do I end the live?